Hi, I'm Albert. These are vlogs about nothing. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch the videos. It really means a lot. And so, check it out. I want to talk about why I and have continued to change my viewpoint about big oil, and why I actually think and am convinced that big oil is the only solution for the foreseeable problems when it comes to energy consumption and or availability as it pertains to average everyday Joes. Okay, and so follow me here. I have always been a proponent of betterness. And that doesn't matter what it is. It could be my own individual self. It could be a skill and or not skill that I have. Maybe at like ping pong. That's a good example. Something that I'm just absolutely terrible at, but would love to get good, or I'm not good at it and I'd like to be better, right? And so this is with anything in life. I think it's always a constant challenge to want to be better. And again, not for any other reason than just to be your best self and or situation and or whatever it is. And so I stand up in affirmation of defending big oil as a 36-year-old person who grew up, again, as somebody who has always advocated for, at the time in the early 2000s, renewable energy, and being a huge fan of Mr. Al Gore post he should have been president. In 2001, in terms of making the social scene aware to scientific conversations that would then lead into the 21st century, things we continue to debate and discuss today in terms of how to solve and what made things happen the way they did and why they are the way they are now. And so this is all undoubtable. You cannot question these things in terms of documented, recorded history. But I will say that as somebody who often thought of big oil as a foe, somebody who was an adversary in terms of their best interests not aligning with public interests, and that is not an arguable point of view in terms of being a company. And arguably over the last century, they've had a major impact, both positive and negative, on not just the environment but the social environment and our social living world. And I think they've done better, and I think they've done more good than they have harm. And so we are now 24 years into the new century, and we have continued to see products come and go. And the idea that electric cars are going to replace gas cars is a thought that will only entertain the interests of those who already have the most to choose from. The consumption of fossil fuel in gasoline, as we know it, the refinement of crude oil turned into gasoline, has improved more lives than it has harmed. The opportunity that you are given with a single gallon of gas far surpasses any other sort of opportunity that could be presented in the form of just not economics, but traveling on down to see your kids or visit your grandma, or some of the things that are provided because of the infrastructure, ease, simplicity, and convenience of gasoline. And as somebody who has not just professed and or advocated for such ways of consuming energy as it is to a consumer, I've had the luxury of having an electric car, and this was in 2012, so almost 12 years ago, and it was not the best experience I've ever had driving a vehicle. And in fact, it has led me to believe that electric vehicles are not the way of the future. And this is to not hate on the idea of progress and or the implement or the introduction of new products into a market that is reliant on the continued demand of different products. This is the fun part of the free market. However, if the thought being sold is that it's good for the environment and it's good for the consumer, then I would say that both of those things have been proven to be false in terms of the amount of time it's taken to get to where we are and the lack of infrastructure and the many problems that we still encounter. I'm not the only one that thinks like this. Major manufacturers such as Tesla are converting over to different methodologies of the future cars that they're making and how they probably aren't going to be on lithium-ion batteries. Thank you so much for watching the videos.